But then there's the valuation piece. I mean,
right?
do a lot of the entrepreneurs overvalue
Yeah, of
their
course.
business?
Yeah, I mean that's the nature of it, right? I mean, and that's really where the biggest conflicts in Shark Tank happen. That's in the valuation. They think this is the best business ever. We had one lady, couple that came on, and they had this scraper for cats' tongues, right? It was
Nice.
bizarre, one of the most bizarre pitch ever.
I love it.
And they had this insane valuation, and it was on because it was corny and fun TV, not
Yeah.
because it was a good business.
Oh, really? Okay. You didn't see the potential.
None. Yeah, none.
There's a lot of cats in the world, Mark.
Yes,
Come
there
on.
are, and they'll go do very well without me.
So how do you determine the value of a business, whether it's on Shark Tank or just in general?
It's actually really easy, right? So if you take, just to use an example, a business that's valued at $1 million, and I want to buy 10% of that company for $100,000. Then in order for me to get my money back, they've got to be able to generate $100,000 in after-tax cash flow that they're able to distribute. Can they do it or can they not? Right? And if it's a $2 million valuation, whatever the valuation is, that's how much cash, after-tax cash, they have to generate to return that money to investors. Or the other option is, do I see this as business potentially having an exit, right? Do they have some unique technology, or do they have something specific about them that some other company would want to acquire? Then the cash flow isn't as not, I don't want to say important, but isn't going to guide the valuation.
And how do you know if a company is going to be acquired? So it's the technology, like the patents, but also the team. Is it?
Yeah, it could be any of the above, right? It could be a super products company that I think is going to take off.
And how do you know if they can generate the money? What's the?
Well,
that's, you made it sound easy,
Yeah, I mean, can the person sell? And if not them, can I do it, or someone on my team do it for them?
So you're looking at the person.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's where Barbara Corcoran's the best. She can look at a person and hear them talk for 20 minutes and know, can that person do the job and do the work?
Can you tell if they're full of shit or not? So one of the things with entrepreneurs, they're kind of, like we said, overvaluing. So they're maybe overselling themselves, but also they might be full of shit in terms of their understanding of the market, or also or exaggerating what they're thinking, do all that kind of stuff. Can you see through that?
Yeah, for sure. Just by asking questions,
Mm-hmm.
So if they are delusional at some level or misleading at another level, I'm gonna call them on it. So you get people trying to sell supplements that come on there and it's a cure for cancer or whatever it may be, or there's this latest fad that increases your core strength without doing any exercises. Shit like that. I'm just gonna bounce. I'm gonna pound on them, right?
See, I still love that. I still love the trying.
Give them credit, right? Because they know all of America is going to see it, and they're deluded themselves to believe this story so strongly.
I mean, there's a delusional aspect to entrepreneurship, right? Like you just,
I see that's a great question. Do you have to be ambitious and set aside reality at some level to think that you can create a company that could be worth 10, 100, $1 billion, right? Yeah, at some level, because you don't know. It's all uncertainty. But I think if you're delusional, that works against you. Because everything's grounded in reality. You've got to execute. You've got to produce. You can have a vision, right? And you can say, this is where I want to get to, and that's my mission, or this is my driving principle. But you still got to execute on the business plan, and that's where most people fail.
Yeah, you have to be kind of two-brained, I guess. You have to be able to dip into reality when you're thinking about like the specifics of the product, how to design things, how to like the first principles, the basics of how to build the thing, how much it's going to cost, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, because if you can't do the basics, you're not going to be able to do the bigger things. And at the same time, you've got to be able. One of the things that entrepreneurs do that I always try to remind any that I work with on is we all tend to lie to ourselves. Our product is bigger, faster, cheaper, this or that, as if that is a finite situation that's never going to change, right? And there's always somebody, I call them leapfrog businesses. There's whoever's competing against you, if you do A, B, or C, they're going to try to do C, D, and E, right? And you better be prepared for that to come, because otherwise they're out of business too. So you're never in a vacuum. You're always competing against sometimes an unlimited number of entrepreneurs that you don't even know exist, who are trying to kick your ass.
And the tricky part of all this too is you might need to frequently pivot, especially in the beginning.
Hopefully not.
So you think like in the beginning, the product you have should be the thing that carries you a long time.
Yeah, because I mean that's your riskiest point in time, right? And so if you've done your homework, which includes going out there and testing product market fit, um, you should have confidence that you're going to be able to sell it. Now, if you didn't do your homework and you go out there and you sell whatever it is, then and you've raised money or whatever, just to pivot, you've already shown that you haven't been able to read the market. And so it's not that pivots can't work and always don't work. They can, but more often than not, they don't. You pivot for a reason. That's because you made a huge mistake.
Well, I also mean like the micro pivots, which is like iterative development of a thing.
Oh yeah. That's not. Yeah, just iterations. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, entrepreneurship, having any business is just continuous iteration. Continuous. Your product, your sales pitch, your advertising. You know, introducing new technology. How do you use AI or not use AI? Where do you use it? What person's the right person? There's just a million touch points, you know, that you're always reevaluating in real time, that you have to be agile and adapt and change.
But especially in software, it feels like business model can evolve really quickly too. Like how are you going to make money on this?
With software for sure, because you know, anything digital, because it can change in a millisecond.